open a cold one, kick back, and enjoy a week's worth of conversation from pop culture, sports, breaking news, and everything in between. Welcome to the Pine Room Podcast. At the beginning of the podcast each week, everyone on the show rolls a 20-sided die. The person who rolls the lowest number then becomes the moderator for that week's show, and it's their job to move the conversation along and switch from various topics or questions that can be found on the moderator's cheat sheet, or custom ones they've brought in themselves. If you have a question or a topic you'd like us to discuss, send us an email to contact@thepineroompodcast.com. Well, that's enough of that. Let's get into the show. You're listening to the Pine Room Podcast. That's the reason I want to get everything out of the house, because I won't go out of my way to go get it. So
I think if you moved out, like you got your own place,
I might die.
Why? You mean just because
I just wouldn't eat.
I could see you getting really skinny because you just wouldn't have food.
Yeah, I just would never.
But that's not like a healthy skinny though.
No.
Yeah, no, I don't want to be like that. But I would definitely. I'd probably, if I lived by myself, I'd probably definitely cook more. I would definitely get. I would not.
That's better.
I could see you meal prepping.
Yeah, I wouldn't eat out a lot. No way I would eat out.
Well, and it's not only that; it's just costs so much.
Well, meal prepping would be great, but the problem with meal prepping is I don't like leftovers a lot. Like leftovers are really rough.
That was my next thing. It's a lot of it's like cold food.
Yeah, it's
warm up.
real. It's real.
I'd
Leftovers.
like to try it.
It rides a hard.
I'd like to try it.
It rides a thin line when things get bad.
I don't get tired of eating the same food.
Neither do I.
No, I don't either.
But I mean, how long can you leave chicken in a fridge and then microwave it on the fifth day? Like,
yeah,
it's still good.
I mean, we had Chinese from Fuji, Japan. Well, I guess it's Japanese. Fuji, Japan, over in Bridgeport. If you haven't been to there anyway, I guess we're started. Episode 142 of the podcast. The Fuji, Japan, over in Bridgeport, Ohio. Fantastic food, and I think it's
Where is it?
It's over right in the same plaza as I think there's a Big Lots over there. It's like
Oh, and there's a Dollar General.
Yeah.
What's it called? Fuji, Japan?
Fuji, Japan.
That says Fuji Sushi and that's kind of hard to say. Fuji Sushi and Hibachi.
I took Cooley over and we got
you say
sushi.
it 3 times fast.
It's by Respects.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
That's
solid.
what it is.
Solid sushi.
So I went over
You
there.
like it?
Oh, and by Mac, it's by MacBid.
He took me one time. I enjoyed it. It's
Yeah.
not better than Fusion, I'm not going to lie, but I do like it.
Now,
You didn't get the right thing
I got the same thing I would have got at Fusion.
how do you know it wasn't the right thing?
because he gets the California roll, spicy California roll.
It depends where I'm at. If I don't, that's the basic roll. Like Fusion, I get sunset roll. It depends. It depends where I'm
Now,
at.
Coles, the guy sitting to your left, I guarantee he wouldn't
He would
try
not eat
sushi in a million years.
Well, I think he would try like,
Fried, like
but he
tempura.
doesn't like shrimp though.
No, I don't like. I have tried shrimp, and I don't like
What
shrimp.
about crab?
I think he would try crab, like cooked crab sushi. I think he would try, but anything.
But I'm
raw.
also scared. I'm a little bit scared of seafood and stuff like that because I'm not really seafood, but I'm allergic to Old Bay seasoning.
I don't know that you are though. Well, I don't think we ever.
You're allergic to Old Bay?
Yeah.
I don't.
got facts?
I don't think we ever narrowed that down. but-
Every time Old Bay comes out, I start sniffling and my eyes get
Maybe
itchy.
what's it called when like you trick your brain into thinking that
It's placebo, yeah.
Maybe that's what you got.
Yeah.
Maybe you're not actually.
But-
I don't know. I know
Anyway.
that when I was younger, I had crab fries at the Pirate game, and they're all covered in Old Bay. And the next day, my eyes got all puffy and swollen.
That's probably just from watching the Pirates.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But anyway,
But you think that's true?
what,
Did that
him?
actually...
No, because all Old Bay is salt, pepper, like dill.
Ew.
Maybe I'm dill.
Boy, I'm not a fan of dill at all.
You don't like dill?
I like dill pickles, but just dill. What's dill considered a?
It's
like
a herb.
like an
herb.
herb, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
A herb.
A herb.
A herb.
Herb.
But anyway, back to Fuji, Japan. If you haven't been to Fuji, Japan, it's like a fusion, but there's no hibachi tables, and they do a really, really
Can
good
you dine
job.
in?
Yeah, yeah, you could. It's not the greatest ever,
Right.
but I think that actually goes a mile for me. If I go into a Chinese restaurant and I worry about my physical health while I'm in there, I know the food's going to be good.
That's like Popeyes.
Yeah, if the grosser the restaurant looks, the better the
If
food
you feel
is.
like you might get robbed at Popeyes.
That's what-
That's
yeah,
why the
like-
Blue Chip Motel that was in Wellsburg was
Here we
right
go.
in Follinsby. People, I can't.
It's
I don't
closed
even
now.
remember
I think
the
we
two.
looked this up.
We looked it up.
It's closed, but I'm telling you, every single person from that area that I talked to would say the Blue Chip Motel by far is the best breakfast that you'll ever
Hard to
have.
believe.
Well, and that's just like
That's insane.
when you would hear people say, "Oh yeah, maybe if you go to you're out of town somewhere, you're in a little small city or town, whatever, like, hey, where's the best dive bar?
Yeah.
Like dive bars, they tend to, a lot of them have tremendous chicken wings.
Right, and I don't ever want to go. I think the best place is if you go to a city. I want to go somewhere that's like been there a while. People, it's not everybody. It's not like a trendy bar.
Yeah.
What can I reference? Like Tequila Cowboy. It's not like that where
Not
there's
like a
15
chain bar,
bars
like-
where people are getting
So
hammered. But just a dive where it's kind of dark, like underground.
See, I'm the opposite.
And you know what? It's funny. And the last job I had, when we always did those trade shows every year in April, we spent the night there. But we were in a decent hotel, but we went like one block up behind where we were staying. 'Cause we were kind of far away to go downtown. We would have had to take either the hotel has a shuttle or get an Uber or whatever. So we just walked like a block, and it was just like a local dive bar. And up on the outside of the building was a mural of Roberto Clemente. But we went in there and had an absolute blast.
Yeah.
But it was basically a dump.
You're
But everybody was having a
Pittsburgh?
great. Yeah,
You're in Pittsburgh, obviously.
it was behind
Roberto.
the Comfort Inn or somewhere where we stayed. But again, that's just an
Yeah.
example of that, because it was dumpy. But everybody had a good time, and the beer was ice cold, and there was no trouble.
I don't know. I think I prefer the. I don't know if I don't like Tequila Cowboy is not my. I don't like Tequila Cowboy. That place is.
I've
you
never
ever been
been
there?
No, I mean I've
Don't
heard all
waste your
about
time,
it. No,
Chris. Don't
I like
waste
the
your
in between. I don't like the dive bar like where it's dumpy and it's dark and I'm scared for my life. I don't know what would be like a good example.
Like a
of that?
homey bar is where I would be.
Well,
A
when's the
homey-
last
I
time
would
you've
say-
been to one where you felt like?
Well, no, I'm not
Threatened.
saying like I'm gonna get shot. Or
All right,
something.
I'll
Like,
give you. I'll
well,
ask this question for you.
Okay.
Would you rather be in Tequila Cowboy or that one that was in like North Wheeling that we went to for your birthday,
Oh, Max.
or in Elm Grove, Max?
Ooh, that's tough. Probably Tequila Cowboy.
Yeah, see that like, in my mind, a dive bar is somewhere like Wakeham's. Wakeham's is a perfect.
And they
I
got
do
great
like
hot
Wakeham's.
dogs.
Yes.
You get a
Yes.
great hot dog there.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
$2 beers.
And but like a place like Generations isn't a dive.
That's a
What about
sports bar.
Dirty Dog?
Yeah, Dirty Dog's a dive.
That's
Yeah,
close.
a
like I
dive.
love Dirty Dog.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I loved it. Yeah, the dog is definitely a dive.
I guess it depends.
A dive probably consists of close quarters, dim lighting, low staff.
If it's too close, I hate the real skinny bar. Like there's just like a walkway of a bar and that's it. I like a little bit of space.
You
It's
like
gotta
a
be like a
hefty
square.
A hefty bar.
Yeah.
I don't even know how we got here, but Fuji, Japan, if you haven't been there, Chris, I had started eating sushi. I got into sushi, and I had never eaten sushi in my life, and I was very skeptical about eating sushi because I don't like cold meat. But I found out that they also fry sushi, and you can get hot sushi, like warm sushi. So I
didn't know that.
I started there, and I got the spicy kani roll, which is a crab roll. It's got cream cheese in it, spicy crab meat, some vegetables, and then in rice, and then it's fried. So I got that, and it's phenomenal. It's got like eel sauce on it, and you hear eel sauce, and you think this came out of the water, and I squeezed it out of an animal, like eel sauce. But it's very good. It's kind of like a soy sauce. Really, really, really good with a spicy mayo on top. I could eat like 2 of those right now. But I started getting into cold sushi now. And
Oh, really?
I started getting into cold sushi, and I got crab,
raw fish?
not raw fish. I did kani sashimi, which is just cold. It's a stick of crab on top of a piece of rice, and that's it. It's just a cold piece of crab on top of a piece of rice.
That's good.
It's really good. I love crab meat. I found that out recently
Why'd
too.
you eat that cold?
I eat that cold. Well, crab meat, fish
I
meat.
thought that's how you always ate sushi.
Oh yeah, sushi is always supposed
Oh wait,
to be.
what are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about cold sushi. Yeah, the sushi I had. So I had the spicy crab roll, which is what I love. That's my favorite, but that's hot.
Okay.
I also was in the mood for crab meat, and for whatever reason, I just wanted it cold. So I got crab meat sashimi, which sashimi means basically a raw piece of fish or a raw piece of crab on top of rice or just by itself. So I got crab sashimi, which is just raw crab, cold. Awesome. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was great. It was like a good refresher. It's good for you. Well, you're not good for you, but it's better for you than eating chicken wings.
So because Is the California roll like basically that's like a natty light?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the you're
That's
gonna find
about
it. You find it in every bar.
Yeah.
That's like your
it's
introduction to
relatively
sushi.
cheap.
Well,
Okay,
that's,
right.
So that's funny you say that, Ghouls. I just looked up the best sushi. This is for beginners. They have a little list here.
California roll.
Philly
Philly,
roll,
Philly.
roll.
So Philadelphia roll, which is salmon, avocado, and cream cheese.
sunset roll.
The king crab roll, that's king crab and mayonnaise. The Boston roll, which is shrimp, avocado, and cucumber.
Yes, I'd go for that. I love
Spicy.
cucumber.
You would like it, Chris.
It's so good.
You like sushi?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'll tell you
All
more.
right,
I got a
yeah,
couple
yeah.
more. The spicy tuna roll, the tuna and spicy mayo, and then California roll. That's imitation crab, avocado, and cucumber. The crab is cooked, so this is a perfect if you're still not sure about eating raw fish. And then the last one, spider roll. Tempura, soft shell crab, avocado, cucumber, and spicy mayo.
That's soft shell.
I don't like that they call it a spider roll though.
Yeah, that is
Because
Yeah, right.
they call it a
Yeah.
spider roll because when you wrap up the soft shell crab, it's got the legs sticking out, so it looks like a spider.
How can that be on the beginner's list?
I don't know.
I don't
That
think
should
they
all
do
be on
that.
the beginner's list.
Yeah, I don't think they actually leave the legs out. I think
Well, they do for the soft shell crab sandwich.
Yeah, they do.
for
That
the
when
sushi,
Uncle
I think
Jim
he's fucking with you.
my Uncle Jim ate a soft shell crab sandwich.
Ooh, man.
And I really wanted a soft shell crab, and I didn't pull the trigger last year, but Curry did.
And Curry loves
They
it.
put a bun and a bun, and they put a crab in the bun, and the legs just stick out the side.
Is the eyes
Like,
still on it?
oh yeah, the whole thing.
I don't know if I could eat the eyes.
No.
You eat the whole.
I would eat
Like
the
you're
body.
taking a bite and the eyes are looking right at you.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
I'd be
eat
like,
his face.
I've
Yeah,
done that with fish. Yeah, just bite the
Yeah,
head.
eat his face. Do you want to? I looked up the craziest
oh, these are gonna be
sushi.
gross.
So this
But
one,
this will be like
This-
nobody could.
yeah, I mean,
eat this.
it's not even like. Well, this is the first one on the list. This is 9 weird sushi combinations from around the world. The Dorito Crunch Roll.
See, now
Doritos
we're
have been
not
used subs. Sushi crusted with a Cool Ranch and nacho cheese flavored crumbs. So that's not really. This is the Sushirito. This Asian Mexican fusion of sushi and burrito can be found at fast casual food chain called Sushirito. It is. It
Assuming
includes
it's a burrito of sushi.
Geisha's Kiss, which is yellowfish tuna,
Geisha.
paquillo
woman.
peppers, and tamanga. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
Insect. See, these aren't even real. Insect sushi, Kit Kat sushi. I gotta find actual real sushi.
I mean, you would probably lose it where you get. I mean, raw salmon, raw octopus, raw eel.
Have you tried that yet?
I haven't.
I've tried it. I don't love it. I'd
What?
prefer
What are you
like
talking about?
just like raw fish sushi.
Like a piece of tuna on a plate would. There's no way I would pick
It
it up
just
and eat
doesn't
it.
like to me.
No.
Have you had that?
Well, I don't know. I thought I had. Does that count? Like I when we were at the Osaka, and we got sushi, and I think I got the I think it was salmon and cucumber. I think
It's
I
probably
know-
raw.
It's raw.
Yeah, it was wrong.
Yeah.
It was fine. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when you get it in a roll, you got the nori, which is the seaweed, and all the
rice.
other stuff in it, which is gonna tamper it down a little bit. But just laying
Just
a
like a chunk
fillet
of
of fish on, no,
It's not bad. Yeah,
So
I'd dip it in
sushi
soy.
was. So what are we actually eating? What's the? I mean,
So sushi typically it can be a lot of different things, but traditionally sushi is a roll of seaweed, with rice laid in a layer. Then you put either your avocado, your crab meat, your fish, whatever kind of ingredients you have. Then it's rolled into a roll. It's rolled into a sushi roll.
and then it just.
Some have rice on the outside, some have rice on the inside. I mean, there's all kinds of different. And I'm not even a sushi fanatic, but I've done enough research. I really like it because it's number one, it's good for you. It's compared to going and getting McDonald's, eating a plate of sushi is really good for you.
Just fish and rice.
Yeah.
Does Banana like sushi?
She loves it.
Okay.
Absolutely loves it. Loves it. She had but anyway, the reason we got to here to Fuji, good Lord.
We'll eventually get there.
We were talking about leftovers, and I'm not a big leftover guy when meal prepping. And if I got to the 5th day, I would really struggle to eat filleted chicken.
do 4 days.
But Fuji Japan, we got Hannah got hibachi chicken and rice, and it came with vegetables and soup, and it honestly was well worth the money. Way more food than I could have ever expected. It was in a big styrofoam thing. Had so much. It's going to take her 3 days to eat it because she eats like a bird. But the chicken was unbelievable when it came out of the box. Right out of the box, right out of the fryer, it was unbelievable. We were eating it. I had some. It was fantastic. It was tender. But then she let it overnight. We put it in the fridge. Then the next day she heated it up and ate it. And it wasn't anywhere close to where it had been at all. It wasn't. It was kind of a little rubbery. It lost the sauce that was on it was a kind of glazed on it, kind of just absorbed into the chicken.
I would say like Japanese food really isn't a good candidate for being reheated.
No,
I wouldn't.
Chinese, on the other hand.
Well, have you gone to?
Really?
I've asked you this before though. On this, have you gone to Sushi Bomb yet?
No.
Did I mention that to you?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, I did, didn't I?
Well, refresh me.
Well, I don't know. There's a place called Big Daddy. Rich Klettner told me about this a couple months ago.
Oh, you told me about this.
And he was talking about up at Robinson. So if you take a road trip and you're in the mood, go to Sushi Bomb.
Bomb.
He told me it's great. I don't know. And when he told me that, he's like looks more like a steak guy. When he said sushi, I'm like, really? And so
you like it though.
Oh, yeah. I've only had it like 4 times ever, but the first time I ever had it was on an Alaskan cruise. They had all this nice-looking sushi, and so I tried it, and I really liked it.
I did too.
And then when we went to that market district up there at Giant Eagle.
Oh, yeah.
Sit there and go get your beer, and we buy a few packs of sushi, and I think we went basic. I think we got California roll.
Yeah,
because I wasn't really
good.
Sure, but yeah. But you sit there, drank a couple IPAs. And
the California roll is the what did you say it was the
natty light
of the sushi world.
Well, because when Cooley was talking, I don't even know if we were on the air yet, and Cooley was talking about it, and you said, well, that's about, or maybe he said it's about as basic as you can get.
Yeah, I mean it's considered basic, but I think it's good. I get it a lot.
Well, now
it's good.
Now, when we were in Osaka, they bring you wasabi, but then they also have the ginger, right?
Yes.
Do you see, the one time I did it, and I thought those were just like small slivers of like some type of seafood. And I took a whole bite of the ginger.
It'll get you.
Isn't that to clear your palate?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a palate cleanser.
But that wasabi...
wasabi will fuck you.
Well, the first one didn't get me. The second one got me.
That's like our St. Elmo's, our cocktail sauce.
Yes.
But
in my experience, we already talked about this before. I know it was on is the yum sauce.
Yum.
I told
It
Chris.
was fantastic. I didn't. He said that he used that term, but he mentioned it a long time ago. Yum sauce. Mm-hmm. I had no idea what he's talking about.
So good.
So when we were at Osaka about like last month or whatever, the lady says, well, I'll be back with your yum sauce. I'm like, wait a minute, I know I've heard that before, and then it dawned on me that came from Java. Boy, that's wonderful.
It is
like
really,
so good. Yeah.
I love yum sauce, but I tell you what I do, not often, but sometimes when I'm at Japanese, I over yum. I did it last time that we were at Fusion a couple months ago. I didn't even eat a ton of my meal, so I was like, oh, I'll take it in a box. I'll eat it for lunch tomorrow, and I put way too much yum on it. And the next day, it just was so saturated with yum that I couldn't even eat it, and I ruined it. It was just like, ugh.
Chris went to Osaka and likes the yum at Osaka, but I told him he's got to go to Fusion and get the yum at Fusion because the yum at Fusion.
But I can't even imagine that being better.
It's
because that seemed like nothing. The Osaka's yum seemed like it couldn't be any better.
It's great. It's great.
Fusion. I've had a ton of hibachi. And a ton of different places, cruises, different states, countries. Fusion's still my number one, and it's unbelievable.
Really?
Yeah, I can't believe that it's the number one.
Yeah, Fusion, and I think something about Fusion. Well, being able to the food go like scalding hot, cooking right in front of you, about 15 inches in front of you, then onto your plate and in you in the span of like 5 minutes, really, really sets it apart. I think by far my favorite are the scallops up there. I think the scallops are
you
unbelievable.
put me on the scallops. The scallops.
Oh, my
are good.
Yeah,
God.
you do love a good scallop, don't you?
The marshmallow of the sea.
I do
Yeah,
enjoy.
right.
I do enjoy hibachi meal. I can't do it a lot. Like I can't do it often. Once every like couple months.
Oh.
Do you like seafood?
Not really. No.
You
No,
gotta
not-
like it.
I
Well,
mean,
you like
I mean,
fried
He's
fish.
got a ways to go.
yeah. I mean, I could do like fried fish, but like I'm not a huge like crab legs and like lobster and
I'll
that
say
kind of
this.
shit.
I just speaking of seafood, we went to a place called Roland's up in Pittsburgh, and it's like a lobster place. I'm telling you right now, I'm fucking done ordering lobster. I'm so tired of getting like my expectations for lobster is so high every time, and every time I get it, it just tastes like
It was
butter.
yours wasn't good.
It just tastes like lobster tastes like nothing.
Yeah.
Unless you put butter on it, and then it just tastes like butter.
I was definitely. I don't want to shit on it because soup.
No, the restaurant itself was good.
Yeah, my mussels were fantastic.
Oh, did
I
you
like
plate of
my-
mussels?
Oh, but here's the problem, Chris.
You got a fucking bucket.
So
of them.
they bring it out in this big cauldron, and it's like a big cauldron with a metal cap, and you take the metal cap off, and then you discard your shells in the metal cap. But when you're in a public setting, if I was by myself at a table, I would very much enjoy the mussels because I could eat them by myself. I'm not worried about getting shit on me because nobody's around to watch me. I'm just eating by myself, or even I'm with Hannah. But I'm at a party table with 18 other people, and I'm like bunched in trying to eat these mussels, and I'm getting shit in my beard, on my mustache, on my shirt.
And it stains your shirts,
Oh,
man.
and I'm like,
I've
fuck.
ruined a couple
And
shirts.
I got like halfway through, and I told Hannah, I was like, this is a mistake. I messed up here. But they were really good. I took a bite of her sandwich. It was the lobster roll. And just
Tastes like butter.
Just was kind of
It's just buttered bread. That's all it was. It was a
Yeah.
lobster roll, and I was so excited for it. But I do this to myself every time. I've gotten lobster in so many places, and every time I get it, I'm like, did I?
Well,
that
'cause
was
lobster-
$30 for that.
They make lobster always out to be a very high class. You go out, you get a lobster tail and a
and
steak.
they
Surf
always
and
say
turf, baby.
market price.
Right.
Surf and
Market
turf.
price.
Right. You see him floating in the tank. Like,
Yeah.
this is going to be unbelievable.
Right.
And it just never really is. I think crab meat is better than...
Way better.
Than,
I think
Yeah, I totally.
It's like sweet.
Totally.
Yeah.
Would you say that lobster is probably the most overrated food
It's up there.
in the world?
It's gotta be.
I'd say
tastes
it's up
like
there with
nothing.
steak too. I think steak is overrated.
Steak's gotta be overrated. There's no way steak is that.
I think steak is definitely overrated. I think steak has a real high ceiling and a very low floor because I've had horrific steaks.
Some steaks that cost like $1,000, and it's like
Right.
it's meat.
And
Is it worth
normally it's about this big.
Yeah,
it's
it's
about
a
the size
little
of
hamburger
a
patty.
fist.
But Job, what is the most underrated cut of steak? You know this.
Flat iron.
Damn
Flat
right. Fucking flat iron is.
What the hell?
$5 it'd save a lot, right?
Well, they always sell the London broil, but that's a lot thicker.
No. It's Kroger.
What?
No, you're London broil. Sorry, you're right on that.
But the flat iron steaks, I think you used to get them at Save a Lot.
No,
They-
Kroger.
I
Kroger
thought it was
in the black package.
But I thought
But
didn't Tim used to buy the flat irons from
No, he would
Save a
get
Lot
flank
and then
steak from Save a
oh,
Lot.
was it flank and he'd bring
Yeah.
it, he'd cook it on that cast iron skillet on the kitchen on the stove.
you made that one time. I mean, I'd had it before, but remember you made a flat iron. Just, I mean, it could have. You could have taken a picture of what you made and put it in a cookbook.
Yeah.
I mean, it was beautiful. It was juicy. It was just pink enough. I think that's good, and that's not an expensive.
No, it's
cut
not
of
at
meat.
all. But I mean, you go to a restaurant and you spend $24 on a filet mignon, and it's about the size of a fist, and you get a couple bites out of it. Is it really worth that?
Fusion doesn't cut you short on
No,
your-
that-
on your
it-
steak.
So
And you get shit with
There's
that too.
something about and I don't know why it is. Like I could go to Longhorn and get the filet with a baked potato. Maybe there's another side in the salad and plus bread. And I don't know why, but I can still be hungry after eat all that. I don't know if it's
Me
just
too.
because of the steak. And then like if someone suggests, well, you know what, we'll go over to the mall, and then like 45 minutes later,
Smell
and
that?
then-
You smell that
Oh.
Annie Ann's.
well, that, or well, you know what, boy, you know what really good now is a medium blizzard.
Oh,
You know, and I know damn well I don't need it, and I'm not really hungry, but I just don't feel filled up. And if I'm eating pasta, I think pasta's
no,
Oh,
filling as shit.
yes,
Oh,
but
my
pasta's
God.
the best.
that's the best. I had it recently at this place.
I don't
I'd have to
like-
say Italian's my best. My
I
favorite.
could agree with you
Ooh,
there.
I was going to
Chris.
ask you guys if we had it before we go to types of food, which I'm pretty sure we've talked about many times.
so many times.
if you had to eliminate two of these, which one do you eliminate? Land, air, or sea in the type of food?
What the hell am I eating out of the air?
Chicken.
Chickens.
Chickens don't really
Pheasants.
Any kind of bird.
fly. Okay. Well,
Land,
I'm not
air, and
eating
sea.
So you have to eliminate two or one?
Eliminate two.
I'm doing C.
I'd
I'm
probably.
doing.
You mean just based
On what you eat and what you prefer, you got to eliminate two, and you're stuck with the last one. And you can eat it however you want, but you can never.
I would probably. I'm going to keep air and land. If I got to.
No, you got to eliminate two.
Oh, two?
I think you got to keep land because that's veggies. That's all the animals.
Let's just say
You're keeping it to animals?
Just keep it to animals.
Oh fuck. Okay, then I'm still keeping
Because there's
I
no
want
air.
chicken.
There's no air plants.
I gotta have chicken.
Well, and if you want to go with a healthier, I guess we'd have to keep keep air and get rid of land and sea, right?
That's what I would do. I would get rid of C.
Well, there's
and
no. I knew
land.
his answer.
Because chicken
was
is literally
chicken.
my entire.
Yeah, that's your.
That's
That would
90%
life.
of my diet.
But I do like my land. Like I couldn't have tacos anymore. I couldn't have.
Yeah, ground
chicken
chicken.
tacos.
I couldn't have. I guess I couldn't have bacon.
Yeah.
Hey, well, what if
Sausage.
What if when Trump gets inaugurated on the 20th, and he threw a fucking huge curveball and said, all these different things he wants to do, and he says, for whatever reason, he's mandating that the only thing from here until he's out of the presidency that you can only eat is like chicken tenders, chicken nuggets, pepperoni rolls, and name another thing that you love.
Grilled cheese.
Hot dogs.
Grilled
Yeah,
cheese.
All right, and you're set.
Fuck, I might become the vice president.
You're set for 4 years.
Oh
then.
my god.
I don't know why I thought of that
I'd
because
be-
I just know how he hasn't. I mean,
Chris,
I've
gotten way better than I
think now,
used to.
now, yes, you have, but I'm going to just get. He's still taking baby steps,
Very much so.
right? He's not.
You think?
Very. No, you've gotten.
I feel like
way
I'm
be-
taking-
You've gotten way better, but
I've-
you're very. You're very.
A little, not a leap, but I've taken a long
You're
So
stride.
you
very-
dipped your toes in the water,
Yes.
and then you
Yeah,
finally
like
submerged
the
your
other
whole foot
the
in.
other day, or when we were in Nashville, we went to a place, me and Cools, which was really weird, by the way.
other day.
Yeah, I don't know. It was
7 months ago.
Yeah, it was a couple weeks ago when we were in Nashville. We went to this place. It was called Burger Republic because I thought it was funny, the name Burger Republic. So we walked there. We went in the restaurant, and there was nobody in there, which threw me off a little bit. Me and Cools were the only one in there. It looked a little suspicious. Me and him were in a booth together by ourselves, and nobody
Where
in
was
the restaurant.
Numbnuts?
Who? Soup? Oh, he was working out.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Cools went and got burgers, and he was working out. But so we went in there, and I was considering getting, I forget what I thought. Oh, a chicken sandwich. And I remember what Jubb said. Jubb always says if you go to a place and the name is in the
name is in the title of the restaurant.
of the restaurant,
Or
of
the
the
food is
the
the
food.
food is in the title of the restaurant.
Yeah, so I was sitting there, and I was like, we're at a burger place. I'm gonna get a burger, and I got this. It was called like the All American Burger. It was just like bacon, cheese, unhealthy shit,
Yeah.
and onions or whatever. It was fucking great. It was great. I don't eat burgers often, but I do enjoy.
Well, no, I'm going to call it. So clear this up. If Jubb says, what about if the name's in the title?
If the food is in the title of the restaurant,
then
so,
it's no good?
No.
So-
then you don't get anything other than that. So like if you go to Krabby Bill's Seafood, you either get crab or seafood.
So do you get a steak every time
If
you go
you-
to a steakhouse?
yeah, every time I go to Longhorn, I get a steak.
So, like, if
just
you
curious.
go to, like, Calvin's Chicken Barn.
Gotta get chicken.
Okay.
If you go to let's
trying to think
see.
of
Burger
an
King.
Like, okay, you go
Well,
to
if
Calvin's
you,
Chicken
you go to
Shack
Burger King and you get nuggets.
I feel like
But-
fast
but
food's
that's
different.
fast
though.
food.
That's like
I think fast
but
food's
fast
different.
foods, I'm not sitting down like looking at a menu. If it was a called Burger King and I went in and sat down in the restaurant, I'm damn well getting a burger from Burger King. But if you go to, let's say, Buffalo Wild Wings, I suggest getting the wings because
Like you shouldn't
they
get
specialize.
like
in
you
that.
shouldn't get a burger from B-Dubs. You're saying
No, you shouldn't. Now they're probably good, but like more hole in the wall places like that.
But here's the thing, though. No, on the Buffalo Wild Wings, I'm torn between that because the logo is a buffalo.
Oh,
Yeah, it is.
It's a
You
Yeah.
don't get
land
wings from
animal.
it,
Yeah.
so and they do have good burgers there.
yeah, but the buffalo has wings, Chris.
Yes, he does.
He
Yes.
does.
So
He eats
I mean,
wings.
so that
Buffalo
could
wings.
create some. controversy there.
But
you
anyway,
ever had a bison burger?
no, they
Isn't
used to
ours
sell them at Cabela's.
Oh, those
Do
are
they
pretty
still
good,
do
I
that?
think.
well,
They don't
yeah,
have that
sometimes.
restaurant anymore, no.
Man, that was
that
good.
place was good. I loved their
My
fries.
fucking boots are ripped, motherfucker.
Those are nice boots.
Yeah, they're
Duck-
always boots.
Waterproof.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring this up because we talked about it on the radio, and we can come back to food talk here in a second. But I think people who listen to the podcast and might not listen to the radio would find this really cool. So I got this message on Facebook, and these guys all listen to this on the radio. I got this message on Facebook because I'm a moderator of our Watchdog Facebook, and I tweet stuff out every now and then and take care of the Facebook for the Watchdog. And I don't ever look at messages on like private messages of businesses like our account or the Watchdog, just because 90% of what's said in DMs are negative.
Probably about me, but yeah.
Like you guys are the worst station ever. Get off the air. Who are these bums on?
It should just be like one of the threads should just say Cooley hate.
yeah.
And everybody
Honestly,
We'll start
yeah.
a channel.
I would
All
say
right, sorry.
like 99% of the comments that are negative are directed towards me.
But in saying that, I saw we had a notification, so I looked at it just because you see a red dot. It's like the marketing thing, like you see in color, so you just go to it like a moth. So I click on it, open it up, and there's a message in there that had already been replied to by one of our folks down here at the station, and it was a long paragraph. So I thought, okay, this is a scam. So I read through it, and there are these two guys from Finland named Jari and Timo, and they live in Finland, 4,073 miles away from Wheeling, West Virginia, and they are AM radio enthusiasts who tune in to AM radio from across the world. And they have a 1,000-foot radio antenna that they have aimed at the eastern part of the United States. And they said they tuned in at 1 a.m., which was I can't remember the UCT time for them, but it was 1 a.m. our time. They tuned in, and they heard our legal radio ID, which is, you're listening to Watchdog, 98.1.
So that's what they heard first?
Right. They heard, so they're hearing static, just static. And I have a recording. I wish I had my phone on me right now, but I'd play the recording for you. But they hear on the recording, the Watchdog, AM 1600, WKKX, 98.1, blah, blah, blah. So they hear that,
like it.
and they send us a message, and they said they heard it. So they recorded it, and they sent it in the message, and they wanted us to validate that what they heard was us, because they were checking off all 50 states to hear radio transmissions from, and we were the 50th state they did, and they heard the Watchdog, and they wanted our validation that it was our station. So he replied to him and said, yeah, that was our station. So they got all 50 states, but they're 4,073 miles away in, what was the place called, Jarrett? Lapland, up in Finland, in the Arctic Circle.
That's because because it doesn't. Finland, to that's left, to the left is like Sweden and Norway.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
But when you mentioned that, I looked it up on the map before I came down here, and it's way north.
Yeah,
it's
way
called how's
up.
it spelled? Like L.A.
LAPLAND?
Yeah, something like that.
But they're up 200 miles from the Arctic Circle, and they are in a remote cabin because they don't get any interference up in the north, and they are up there just tuning into different radio stations. They're called like AMDXD.
They just it's just a hobby.
Yeah, and they tuned into
How
us.
did they? But so they were just trying to hear an AM station for every state, and
Yeah.
they heard ours.
They heard ours. They heard the Watchdog's legal ID at 1 a.m.
1 a.m. their time.
1
So
a.m.
cool.
1 a.m. our time. It was like 7 p.m. their time.
I wonder what show would have been on. Probably just some.
It would have been
probably like
VEASAN.
VEASAN.
Probably VEASAN, yeah.
VEASAN. But they heard us. 4,000 miles
so
away
cool.
in Finland, they had a radio antenna. It just happened to be catching signals from us. I just think that is so cool.
It's fascinating. Really.
They sent us their address, so we're going to try to send them something that we could take a picture here in the studio and send it to them.
Yeah, we could have like we write like a hi Lapland, Finland.
Yeah, I think it'd be fantastic, but it was so cool because I told the guys on the radio, it's like rarely do you ever run into things so unique that are actually real. If I would have read that and they had no personal information about our stuff, I would have thought this is a scam for they want information about our station or something. But they sent a picture of themselves. They sent the recording of the broadcast.
What did
so
they send
cool.
us an email? Is that what
It was on
or?
Facebook. It was a Facebook message. So
Oh,
I'm
okay.
assuming they
That's
heard the watchdog and they Googled the watchdog and found it on
So
Facebook.
they wanted to make sure that what they heard was the same thing.
Right.
That the transmission.
Right, because they wanted to nail the last 50s, the last
They were,
state.
they were probably pumped when they Googled that and it popped up like the watchdog. You're like, oh, they're real. Like,
Yeah.
this is a real thing. I think that, seriously, I was sitting where Jub's sitting when he was telling me that, and he was up here on the studio chair, and he started reading that, and I was just kind of paying attention on my phone, and then he just started reading. I was like, and I like popped up. I was like, is this real? And I jumped up and read it. It was really cool. They sent a picture of themselves. Yuri and who?
No,
Timo.
Yari and Timo.
Yari and Timo. Yeah, Yari
Yeah,
and
that's
Timo.
definitely two Finnish names.
Yeah, it was. I just looked
TIMO.
up a picture. This place is crazy, Lapland, Finland. Like it is. Like it looks like out of like Polar Express. This.
Well, I
like,
guess if we all went and Cooley'd probably stay behind just because of the weather.
Yeah, in the hotel.
Oh, come on, Chris. I can take on some weather.
Well, the good thing is, no matter what kind of animals that we face,
we're good.
We're
I'll
safe.
be your
good.
protector.
We're
Yes.
safe.
So we can't go without
Bear
Cooley.
had a good quote. He's one of our listener station friend here at the station. He does his show with Bob, good old boys, and he said 90% of the opinions that Cooley says I agree with, and the other 10% I'm wrong.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect. You know, speaking of like AM radio, years and years ago, not that I wasn't an enthusiast, but I'd have an old transistor, and I would be up late at night, and I would just scan through. You know, I'm doing it manually, those old transistors, and I would find like a local channel, like 760 AM, I think maybe out of like Chicago. And every now and then I could pick up like a Chicago Blackhawks game. And then there was a station out of Detroit that would have the Red Wings on. Or I'd just come across some random talk show. And I thought that was the coolest thing. And then I'm listening to it. Then they'd go to a commercial. And then they're doing a commercial about, Jim's Furniture Store or something. And I just thought it was so cool. So I just, for them to be 4,000 miles away. And
It's just
to
so
pick
cool.
that up. And yeah, we should reach out to them.
I have their address, both their addresses. They live in Finland, both of them, and we got to send them something. I think that'd be really, really
So
cool.
so what was it again? They went 200 miles from where they live?
Yeah, so no, they actually they rode, I think it was rode 300 miles by train.
I thought he said 500.
Or no, yeah, 500 miles by train.
And then 200 by
then
car?
250 by car up into the Arctic Circle. 200 miles from the Arctic Circle.
That's insane.
Just for the
Just to get
purpose
up
of-
there because there's no radio interference that comes up that way because everything's probably directed east to west lower. So
I mean, that's all legit. I mean,
Yeah.
everything.
I think,
'Cause
I
when you
mean,
were reading it, because you were kind of keeping it hush-hush, and then I was driving, and I heard you talking about it. I'm like, is this like just some kind of BS? But I guess not.
no, I mean, he sent us a recording of the broadcast.
Yeah, I heard that.
I wish I had it up so I could play it for people, but I don't have my phone. But it's so cool. I think it's so interesting and really a nugget of, like, just a good thing to happen. I mean, I don't know if it's not the most significant thing ever, but just such a cool thing. You don't see those little nuggets of joy in life every now and then.
Just
But
imagine how impressed they would be if they could have heard us.
Right.
All of our intelligent
Oh,
conversations.
man, yeah.
right.
I wish that they would have been listening. I wish they would have tuned in when we were on here. I looked up, Joe. It says, I said, how do AM radio waves go so far? Very intelligent question to ask Google. It says AM radio waves can travel long distances because they reflect off the ionosphere, a layer of charged particles in the Earth's atmosphere. This allows them to bounce back to Earth and reach receivers far beyond the direct line of sight from the transmitter. So
Now-
I guess from Wheeling, it just went up, bounced off the Earth, and then down and hit Finland.
Now, and I don't know if it indicates anything in there about this, but I always found it when I would do that, like trying to, and I wasn't looking for anything specific other than just trying to find something. It always seemed to come through way better at night.
I just
I was going to
was
say,
reading
so
that.
does it say that?
So what happens in the daytime is that there's interference just by all the actual natural stuff that's happening in the air in the daytime. But when the sun goes away, then in the dark, radio waves travel better. But they also, what happens to a lot of stations, including ours, and if you've ever had listening to our station at nighttime, because of legal reasons, we have to power down our station. So if you have a bad signal at nighttime, it's not because you're not getting a good signal. It's because we have to power down our station so that other stations can take over some of our area, because they're legally, they have. It used to be because of the war, because there were some kind of radio broadcast that needed to get out during the war. And they would power.
I like that he just said the war.
Nobody would ever think that you'd have
the
to
Great
do
War.
Yeah,
that there'd be any legalities involved with that. You wouldn't think that at all.
Yeah, every night we power down.
What button do you hit? It's like
It says
It's automatic.
Well,
You had to come down every night.
I have to
at
go
midnight.
down and I got to pull a giant wall lever.
you got to climb the ladder up to the top.
What does it say though?
Well, it says useful daytime AM service is generally limited to a radius of no more than about 100 miles, even for the most powerful stations. However, during nighttime hours, the AM signal can travel over hundreds of miles by reflecting from the ionosphere, a phenomenon called skywave propagation. So,
yeah,
stronger at night. It's always cool hearing where people are listening from, because when we were doing the pickleball, we had a few, maybe 20 or so people watching when we did the pickleball, and I just would kept reiterating while we were live, let us know where you're watching from. We had people from New York watching, because they had some
Where
people
was
in
that?
the tournament.
And Beaver County, right?
Yeah, Beaver County, PA, right above Pittsburgh, and then somebody else from New York, because they had some relatives that were in the pickleball tournament. But it always is cool hearing where people are listening from and or watching from. So again, hey, if you're watching this and you're out of the area,
awesome.
Let us know where you're watching from. I
Even if
think
you're
that's
from the
cool.
area.
it's really cool.
Yeah, maybe.
How
Yeah,
can I get an email?
tell us if you're
Like,
from
from
Elm Grove,
Wood.
Woodsdale.
There's something about, though, being at radio to me that is a little more significant, because really all you have to do to watch this is just open up
type
your
it in.
browser.
Yeah.
But for radio, for them to pick it up live off the airwaves is just crazy to me. I think that's so cool.
And I think, have you heard, I don't know if it were radio ads or TV ads, or it could be both, they were trying to do some bill about passing some law or whatever to eliminate AM radio from cars. Have you seen that?
No.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going. I don't know the reasons why, but I that would suck.
Good thing we have FM too.
Right, but if you're listening to a station on AM that's kind of far away, but you get a decent reception, but then you go underneath the power line and you just get tons of static
Yep.
every time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really? I don't even think I'm.
Oh yeah.
Well, I never listened to
I try
AM.
to listen to the Browns ESPN 850 up there, and sometimes it comes in really clear. And when I'm driving though, it might fade out. But once you go under a power line, it just for
I don't
2
think
or
I've
3
ever
seconds,
noticed that.
It just
Yeah,
try it sometime.
I listen to WKUK, the Pittsburgh Jazz channel, the 88.1, and I listened to that when I was in college at West Lib, and I would drive around in the daytime, and you could never, ever, ever pick it up. It would be in and out. And it's funny, though, too, when I was driving down towards the school, I could hear it, but if I was driving away from the school, I couldn't hear it. It would crackle and go out. And every now and then when I would turn, it would get better or worse. But at nighttime, it would be crystal clear, and I could listen to the Pittsburgh
and
Jazz.
when you mentioned Pittsburgh, if I think it could still be true that 1020 was it KDKA?
KDK,
radio?
yeah.
I think they had the strongest. What's that? Like 50,000 watts or whatever.
Oh,
Really?
I think seriously, you can even look that up.
Probably
the
them. And,
KDKA was one of the you could hear that I don't know what you say the farthest away, but KDK and I don't know that station's so old. But,
Yeah, KDK,
and there was
WB,
something
D.
weird about that, because isn't it all the stations from like west of the Mississippi or something start with K? And
Chris,
everything from the east starts with a W.
Yes.
And with the exception of KDKA, and I don't know why that is.
yeah, and I thought when we first got involved with
TV
WK
stations too.
or even when I was younger, when I got involved, like knew what WKKX and the Watchdog was, I never understood why it was called WKKX. I always thought it was like Wheeling, like knowledge. I don't know, or WVLY. I thought it was always West Virginia live yearly or whatever, but it ends up that none of those are actually chosen. You're just randomly assigned.
Oh, is that how that
call
is?
letters. Yeah. You're just randomly assigned call letters. I believe. I could be wrong because WOMP, WOMP.
Been around as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
And now there's no more WWVA.
No. No, actually, no.
That used to be 1400, I think, maybe.
What did they
Well, they always had the Jamboree on every Saturday. You know,
I think they still are. I think there's a there's an
1370?
Appalachian there's
No.
an Appalachian like folk country station that I found online that is still broadcasting and actually doing pretty well for listenership. Probably
Yeah.
older folks, but
I'm an AM radio fan.
it's fun though. There's something. I know radio's dying, and this is kind of cool that we actually are talking about this because we never talk about what we actually do in radio. Radio is 100% dying. Like in probably 20 years, no one's gonna have a radio in their car other than you just get in and play Spotify. But there's something about a radio that is sitting behind a microphone and me talking. Instead of this, is we're talking. I go home for 2 days, come back, edit it, send it out. So this has happened. This is done and gone. Radio, when it's live, and I know there's a producer in the booth and there's a host there and you can hear him talking, there's something about that I really like. And I think that's why live streaming is really popular. It's because you can interact. There's something I wish it wasn't going away. I wish it was still like booming and everybody's getting their car excited
I
to.
don't think it's really fully gone away. I think it's just being delivered in different ways.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think people still
Like
look
the-
forward to shows.
Yeah,
and
like
talk
I listen to
shows.
93.7 The Fan every morning when I leave the gym because they talk about Pittsburgh sports.
I know, but you don't. But eventually, they might just do away with that, and you get it through
Yeah,
their app.
you
Yeah.
don't
so then you
listen
have
to
to
it
bring it
live.
up on your phone.
Yeah.
I thought you listened to it on Spotify.
That's Dayon. Yeah, that's different. That's my boy Dayon. But no, when I leave the gym every morning, I turn to 93.7,
Right.
listen to Mackey and or Starkey and Bob Pompiani.
Well, that one jackass they have on there, fucking.
They got some
Filipponi.
Filipponi might be
That
the
guy
most-
wanted to blow Kenny Pickett.
He
thought he was
might
the
be the
greatest
biggest
fuck-
dick in Pittsburgh.
He's the biggest
media.
homer.
Who was the old
him
guy?
From
You hated him.
in it. Which one?
He would call in.
That's a
Cook?
totally different guy. Yeah,
Oh.
no, that he wasn't a host. That's fucking.
Yeah, I know. He'd call in.
Yeah, shit. What's his name from Uniontown? He'd call into to Zangrilli after the Pirates games. Chuck from Uniontown would call in and he'd talk. It sounded like he was crying after every game. He'd be like, "Dan, I can't do this anymore." And, yeah, Chuck from Uniontown. He calls in every time and talks to Dan Zangrilli, who is also a very, very great host on
I think
93.7.
being a radio host in a big city would be so
That'd
much
be
fun.
awesome.
It would be so much fun to have that interaction with people because like we have people that listen, but when you're in a city, there's such a there's just a different atmosphere. It's like when we were in Ocean City, Chris. Secrets has their own radio station and that big radio station up top. Like
With that giant tower.
Oh man, it's just something about it that I love. I think radio is so cool. I should have gotten more into it when I was in high school because Scott and Oldie actually had a radio class that we had fun in, and we did our little stupid radio show. Happy.
That
Talk.
was fun. That was really what started our kind of
Our interest in this
interest
kind
in
of stuff.
radio. Yeah. Just stupid. We eventually ran out of shit to talk about.
It was
'cause
like-
we would just talk like we did earlier. We would just talk about food every time.
Food. What's your favorite pizza? Gatorade flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah, but everybody in the world talks about that. I think that's
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
relevant
but
topic.
Job, this goes back to yesterday on the radio about we were talking about people calling in. Whatever happened to that guy? And I don't know if he called this station Radio Rich.
Oh my God, no, Chris! He called our station. And I picked up the phone, and he said something, and I said, "Well, yeah, can I get a name?" But he goes, "Yeah, this is Radio Rich. He's still alive."
I had no idea
Is
he was still alive.
because they would not kick him off, but they would cut him off and stuff. He
Yeah,
was a
but
pain
I
in
don't
the
know.
ass.
I don't know what he would do. Would he get like vulgar, or would he just be? Would he just talk
What he like
forever?
deformed?
Oh yeah,
man.
he's.
Is he an older gentleman?
Yeah, he would call in. He would go to. Go to Post 1 games. He would go out in the parking lot at Post 1 games. I think he stole a tire once.
Well, and then thinking of him, and then the guy with no names mentioned about writing to the who did he write to? The Steelers. Yesterday, you reading that?
Oh
note?
yeah. You like that though?
I just did you hear yesterday when we were talking about the guy? I don't know if he wrote a
Oh,
letter
yeah, I
to
was.
the
Yeah,
Steelers.
yeah, I was there with you guys.
You were there?
Yeah.
Yesterday?
Yeah,
He
there.
wasn't
Oh,
there.
you-
Cooley wasn't
Cooley
there.
wasn't
No.
there.
But I just think that's just mind on.
I'm sure it's-
I'm sure it will
that
get to
you
the,
took the time
It was sent in
to
our
write a
tag.
letter to the owner of was it the Steelers or the
No,
Pirates?
Rooney family, yeah.
Rooney's.
Steelers.
And so this guy's fed up, telling him what's wrong, what they should have done.
He won't ever watch him again.
He's done. He's
And
done.
here's the thing: they
So
don't
you-
care.
Exactly.
They literally
Right.
don't care.
So you think
He's not watching the
Saturday
game.
at 8 o'clock? He's not watching it.
And then I
He'll
told,
show them.
I told you, Chris. I said to Rooney's would get that, and they shit. We got this guy.
we lost him.
We lost him.
We can't do that. We
The
cannot
fuck?
tolerate that as
What
an
are
organization.
we
Call
going
the
to do?
Ravens.
Emergency meeting. They call. Sirens are going off.
Yeah.
We lost a single viewer out of Wheeling, West
Tell
Virginia.
Coach Tomlin we got to cancel.
Call
the
him
game.
now. End the
We can't
season.
play.
Get George to send him a
Sell the team.
Get George
Yeah.
Pickens to send him a personalized message.
Yeah, that'd be. Good.
I told Joe after we got off the air, and I don't know if you heard me talking. I said I just wish this would never happen, but it would be funny if it did. If they contacted him and said, "All right, you know what? Every point you made, we've examined it. We've talked about it. We want you to be the coach, GM. Have at it." And I just-
Don't
I got
teach
it.
him anything. Don't give him anything.
like I said to Joe, you just give him the roster. Here's your roster from top to bottom. Have at it, and we'll see what happens.
luck.
Don't have any staff there for him. No OC. No coaches.
he's gotta hire
He's got to
them.
hire his
Yeah.
own.
What if they call
pay him
him?
$5 million in this, and then but if they don't make the playoffs under him, then he's got to give it all back.
Yeah.
What if they call him like, listen, that's fine. We respect your decision, but if we catch you watching this game, we will find you. Like,
Yeah.
if we catch
I
you
know
wa-
that's right, and I've seen that so many times, like on Brown's message boards. The guys are fed up, and then sometimes you'll read where maybe it isn't. It might have had to do with the Kaepernick situation or those players taking a knee. Yep, I haven't watched the game in 7 years.
Yeah.
I'm done with it. I just turned it off. And I'm not as I don't watch it nearly as much as I used to, honestly.
Yeah.
But I still follow it and I know what's going on. But like these guys, like that said that, like I'm done. I cannot because of all the heartache that you people have caused me.
Right.
I'm
Right.
done.
Yes.
Right.
Now that you were speaking of like
It's fucking
not
dumb.
supporting teams anymore, and I've thought about this before. My dad, Coach, really has completely, because he was a huge Steeler fan.
He was pretty good.
Fucking,
Steeler
we
fan, yeah.
painted our front yard the Steelers field, looked like Heinz Field, and was a massive Pirates fan. Was a Redskins fan at one point. Was a huge Penguins fan at one point. I feel like he has completely just lost his fandom, and he always says, people ask him, say, who do you root for? He says, the team I bet on.
Well,
I
I
gotta
was just
say,
going
you
to say
think
that
that's
has to
why-
be one of the
the
reasons.
team
why.
I bet on.
I guarantee you, if you took a survey nowadays, I would say a lot of people, especially sports bettors, don't really have a favorite
Yeah,
team.
this is bad. I think that kind of ruined sports a little bit. How much betting?
No, and Cooley, you're 100% right because that would suck to see if the Pirates somehow got into the playoffs and they had a good chance to make a run, and then Coach is betting against the Pirates or betting
he has done
or betting the Pirates giving a run and a half and they only win 6-5 and he's kind of pissed. I'm
Or-
like, no,
well,
you can't do that.
Or Chris, that he bet their win total under, so he needs them to lose.
Well, yeah, that's even a better
what
example.
I convinced him to bet 2 years in a row. I told him to bet it over, and 2 years in a row he won. But I
this,
feel
year,
like
this year was, I think, even easier than last
yes,
year.
I think
wasn't
it was with like 2 games left. They got it. I know I had it over, and it's it's funny now that he kind of. I feel like he has a little bit of vested interest now back in the Pirates. Now that I work for the Pirates, but
right.
But
he still doesn't seem to be like thrilled with him.
No,
I
no,
mean-
and it's amazing. It's funny to think about this, and I actually, again, I was thinking about this the other day driving, that this whole entire Pine Room thing probably wouldn't even be a thing if the Pirates weren't good in that 2013 year, because every night we would even Jubb would come out every night and we'd watch the Pirates play in 2013 when they were good. We would watch every single game outside in the Pine Room, and that kind of
So
sparked
we can thank the Pirates for all this.
Thank,
Yeah, thank
Russell
you.
Martin,
Rob McCoviak.
Oh, yeah,
Pedro
he paved the
Alvarez,
way.
Yeah.
Rod Barajas, Clint Barmas,
Nobody better than
I
See, he
still-
knows the players.
Russell Martin's the goat.
Jub, you
Neil-
probably
Neil
wait. Hold on.
Walker.
Okay, you probably could go around real quick before we're coming about up
This
on
is
an hour.
Such a stupid point.
Second, so catcher. We'll go around. Catcher.
Rod Brawhaus.
No, in 2013.
Oh, Russell Martin.
Okay, first base. First base might be tough. for
Garrett
you.
Jones? No, that's
He played a little bit.
in 2013.
Oh, man.
Yes,
I did
but
like
he-
Garrett. Pedro played first, didn't he?
Not in 13. He played a different.
Who the hell played first this year?
Was he
Justin Morneau.
Oh, I
They
would've
traded
got
for
that.
Morneau.
Fucking guy never hit one fucking home run for the.
I know.
and they
I
got it
know.
from
He
the
was
Twins.
he was a fucking MVP.
Yeah.
Second base
baseman.
is a little short.
No.
Freddie.
Second baseman.
Neil
And
Walker?
Neil Walker. Shortstop.
Your boy.
You just said him.
short. He got out of the rundown. Like
No, he was on that team. He was a utility guy. Josh Harrison.
Oh.
yeah.
But who played short? You just said his name. White guy.
Oh, Clint Barmer.
Yes,
I saw
and
him at a
Clint
grand
Barmer.
slam.
him and Jordy Mercer.
Pedro played third.
Pedro played third.
Right field was Starling Marte.
Mm-hmm.
Center field Andrew McCutcheon.
Mm-hmm.
Left field.
Well, actually, you switched. You could go right. Who played okay, left field and right field? He hit a home run in the wild card game. We traded for him from the Reds.
Oh, Marlon Bird.
Yep.
Yeah.
You just and who were the pitchers?
Oh boy, Jason Grilly.
Well, he was a closer. Who's the setup
Mark
man?
Hanrahan or
No.
Mark Melanson.
Yeah,
Boy, I'm impressed.
I know. Who was the starting pitchers? Lefty started in the
Jared
wild card.
Hughes.
Holy shit, that's like does Jump no ball?
Wow.
Let me get.
He would-
let me
well-
get. Let
well,
me get
start
here.
it- starting
Cheese,
pitcher.
Charlie Morton.
Yeah,
I love Charlie Moore.
lefty that started the wild card game. You liked him.
Is he, Burnett.
He was on that team,
AJ Burnett.
but that's not who I'm thinking of.
Uh,
Well, another righty who's really good.
Damn, that team is loaded.
Lefty.
Lefty.
I liked him.
Lefty. He was.
I liked him though.
Yeah, he was from the. That won't help you. He wasn't. He's not American.
He's not American.
Yeah,
Is he fat?
chubby.
Yeah.
Lefty. He hit left. He hit a home run one time and hurt himself.
I don't know.
Liriano. Francisco
Oh,
Liriano.
yeah, Big
and
Frank.
then you're
Yeah,
missing
Big
one
Frankie.
big pitcher, righty, who was huge for us. Got traded.
What's skinny guy?
Not
in
really.
between.
Shit.
Garrett Cole.
He's really good.
Oh yeah,
Garrett
yeah,
Cole.
yeah.
That
Dumb
was a-
trade.
that was
That's
a-
a
Stupid.
loaded roster.
That was. You know who they got back in that
Why
trade?
the fuck did we not win anything?
They got Joe Musgrove and Colin Moran.
yeah.
Well, they got kind of
Fucking
screwed
stupid.
because
I
Well,
don't
but
ever wanna
Musgrove
hear-
turned out to be pretty
Yeah, he
good.
was pretty
Yeah,
good.
but then didn't we get rid of him?
Who? Musgrove. Yeah, he went to the Padres.
Well, yeah, I don't even want to get
listen,
into it.
Jeff, I
'cause
don't
we're gonna go
support
down
trading any of
fucking-
those guys. I only supported Adam Fraser. So I heard you start to say that. Fuck you.
No,
That's
because
not
that's
what I
my
meant.
whole point.
That
At
is
that
not-
time,
but that's
at
the only
that
trade
time,
I thought
that
was
team,
fair.
there's no
It's a really
reason.
good
There's
team.
no reason any of those players in that team should have been fucking traded to anybody.
That team, I agree.
That
Adam
really-
Fraser was poop.
It makes
They
me,
should have ended the season, and the next season they shouldn't have even changed the
Well,
lineup.
14
Or
really-
add some even better
Right,
players.
right.
Well,
Yeah.
well, they
They
did. They from 13. Fuck the 15 team won 98 goddamn games.
But then after that season,
Didn't
though,
they go wild card and lose?
They
that
well
year?
they lost
got
to the
beat by
they
the
lost to the
Cardinals.
Giants. They
But
lost to
got
the
screwed.
Giants.
Like wild card that
Well,
year was
the
really
two
dumb.
the two fucking the 14 and the 15 was the one game we
Wow.
got fucked in 14 by Madison Bumgarner and then 15 by Jake Arrieta.
if they were still batting again't Baumgartner,
They'd have never got it.
hit.
Same with Arrieta.
Cardinals.
Yeah, that
We were
was
fucking.
Yeah, I'll never
it
forget
literally
that.
it makes me want to throw up
Pedro
thinking about.
Alvarez was the last out.
They were one win. We were up 2-1. We were one win away from going to the NLCS in Pittsburgh. We're in Pittsburgh. It was game 4 in Pittsburgh, and we got beat by Michael Walker. We couldn't get a fucking hit. He was no hitting us until the 7th inning,
One day we'll get the
and
playoffs
it
back.
makes me sick. And then we went to I never forget. For whatever fucking reason, we went and watched Game 5 at a different place than in the Pine Room.
Chris, don't you think it's funny? You look back, and I know for a fact when they're winning games, we're saying the same shit that we're saying now about the players now, like how Pedro Alvarez is dog shit, about how the pitching they had rough pitching. But you look back, and those guys look like a fucking MVP.
Well, no, but they won 90+ games.
Yeah, they
They
won
I'm
90.
saying,
Well-
but I'm saying we're saying the same shit now that we probably were saying, not realizing how lucky that you were to have the team that you had.
Right, because I think 10, 20 years from now, Jack Swinski's still going to be dog shit.
Right.
And you're right, though. Those are. But
like you're never going to look back and how we just said, man, fucking Charlie Morton.
You had a frame, Jub.
Oh, I'm out of frame. You're like Charlie Morton, Josh Harrison, Pedro Alvarez. You look back and you go, man, did they have Pedro wasn't the greatest, but that guy could that guy
I liked him.
in a clutch
He was
moment.
a good player, man.
He'll
He
hit
was
a nuke.
clutch.
He'll hit a nuke. But
Well,
you
get
look
out of the
back,
rundown.
then you look back like in 10 years, you're gonna look back and go, man, Sawinski. Fan, imagine if we still had him.
No, we'll name him, but we'll be making
We'll
fun
never
of him.
say that. But Jub, you should have like this Steeler fan. Like Jarrett was saying, you guys started this like in 2013, watching them every night. And when you reached your point of fandom where you were just so disgusted, you should have
Wrote a letter.
hit them with a note or a letter, tell them how upset you were, what they did wrong, what they should do to right the ship, and then just tell them you're done. So no more games for Job. And then I mean, imagine how panic they would get.
Horrified.
With that guy, there's a kid down there. He's 19.
He's upset.
He's upset.
Do you guys think? And this, I was talking to, I think it was Nick about this. Nick and I think Cooley might have been there too. Whoever it was. That I feel like everybody roots for their different teams. Like you root for the Browns,
Right.
Cooley roots for the Bucs. I root for the Steelers. Jobs roots for the Raiders.
I don't.
He doesn't. But and I feel like everybody collectively, even if you don't root for them, want the Pirates to be good. Just because it's good for the game.
I don't watch sports. I have no interest
but
in
you
sports.
talk a lot on the radio about talking that you do watch it. So
He
you're like
keeps
a
up with more
closet.
than he is.
Yeah, I know. I'm
I
starting
don't.
to think you're full of shit.
I don't. What's the last?
You don't want to, but
You
you
said
do.
the other
like,
day, yesterday, you were
Bullshit.
watching the end of fucking
Fucking,
game.
you
Because
know what
he
the
was
goddamn
watching it.
Naylor standings are.
I don't know what no, because I was reading it off Matt's sheet. No, listen. I don't follow sports. The only reason I follow sports is if my friends are watching sports with me. That's the only reason I would ever watch a sport. I would never in my life sit down and turn a football game on and watch it by myself. If I do that, shoot me in the head because it's not me. But
If Banana wanted to watch a game, you're there with her. If she said, you know what, I'm in a mood for football today.
Yeah, you would.
No?
no, I'd go play games or something. I would
Really?
not sit there and watch
If
football.
she wanted you to,
Is it just us two?
yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I love her to
I don't
death.
know if she'd
I
ever
love
do
her to
that.
death, but I
You could
could
be
not
snuggled on
fucking
a
do
couch.
that.
It's 5
She would watch
degrees
on you.
out.
I don't think
Chris,
she'd ever do
Chris.
that.
What?
I don't think she'd ever want to watch
No.
it.
I'd be
it's
asleep. I'd
hypothetical.
be asleep in 30 minutes or 30 seconds. I'd be asleep.
All right.
But
Well,
I would never. I just couldn't. There's no way. There's no way.
All
I'd
right.
be up cooking or trying
all
to.
right, well,
do
trivia
something.
question since you were asking trivia
Oh,
on the
boy.
radio. What wide receiver scored 2 clutch touchdowns for the Arizona Cardinals on Sunday?
My boy, he should be MVP.
Yeah.
Greg
Number 4.
Greg Dortch.
Greg Dortch.
MVP,
Greg Dortch.
Greg
But what
Dortch.
what were you gonna say?
My point was, I think this year when we all watched in Discord, which is like a chat room, and you can hang out with your friends and like share the screen and watch the game. That was the most I've been enjoyed watching a sport in my probably the past 10 years. Probably when they were good was the last time that I actually watched them and enjoyed it. When we watched Milk Dud, what's his name?
Yeah,
Michael
Uh,
Wade Taylor.
Yeah, when his little bald head,
Hit that home run.
I don't know. Well, who were they playing?
They were playing the
Astros.
Astros in Houston.
And they got beat that game.
No, they
they
won.
They
they got
won
beat.
there. They did get beat that game. That was the beginning of
Was
the
that
end.
the beginning?
Yeah.
That was
Is that
the
when
beginning
did
of
he
the
hit a
end.
grand slam a game? No.
He had a 3-run homer to put them ahead.
We
and
were
then-
all in one
Did
room.
Bednar blow that? Or was it the guy with the long black hair?
Yeah, no, it was
Holderman.
Holderman,
He was
yeah.
horrible.
Oh.
Yeah. That was the beginning of the end. That started. I swear to God, I thought that after that series, or the beginning of that series, we won the first 2 games of that series. I was like, holy
Who
shit.
they beat before that?
He hit that home run, and it was like we won the World Series.
Yeah.
We were all screaming and cheering and hooping and hollering. And for the first time in probably 10 years, I really enjoyed it. We would always, at the beginning of the day, we would say Pirates tonight, and we would all get together at night, and we'd sit in our own setups and watch it online, and we would all enjoy it and cheer and hoop and holler. And then it was like 2 weeks later, they were in that
They
skid.
lost 10 straight.
And
That
well,
was
you
it.
know, and it shows that the quality of their the product they put on the field is garbage. Because you think about it, like coach could very easily, in the spring or summer, and say, hey, let's have a Pine Room night, and we'll watch the Pirates. Friday night, Skeens is pitching against Chris Sale, whoever he plays for. The big pitching, but they've been so uninteresting, and they just have sucked. And I don't want to fucking see Van Meter play
Key Bryant.
and Key Bryant. Yeah,
That's
that
an
guy.
incredible reference, Josh Van Meter.
Sawinski, these retread, they not reach, but just bums. I mean, and they never do any, and that just it kind of chapped my ass. Just like with Cleveland Indians, like now they re-signed for like probably the second or at least the second time. It's Carlos Santana.
Man.
Like, I mean, that
He's
guy
got
might
good
pay till
music.
he's
Get rid of
45.
Naylor.
He's got good music.
He does. Black Magic Woman.
But it's just
it's-
it goes to show that if the Pirates were good, people
would tune in.
support
well,
them.
why in the
People
hell?
watch them.
I agree, but it's amazing. It wasn't all that long ago that the Kansas City Royals won the World Series.
Yeah.
And
Peaks and valleys.
boy, how
Peaks
long
and
we been in
valleys.
the valley?
We're like
We've been in the valley for
We're
a
like
long,
Lewis and Clark.
long time.
Lewis and Clark.
Just I don't know. Those 3
Suffering.
years you thought you were climbing up out of that big hole you were in, and then you almost get to the top in 2015, and then all of a sudden your hand slips and you're
Yeah,
Landslide.
the rung breaks off the
That's
ladder.
it, yeah.
or
the
you
rung-
get right to the top and you peek over the ledge and there's another giant mountain and then a landslide and you get crushed.
yeah, and so we've been there for almost 10 years now, right?
We're still
10
rolling
years.
the boulders off our
Right, just
crushed
right,
legs.
Right,
Well,
Paul Skeens, he'll bring us back.
yeah.
you can't do it alone, though.
Nope.
He's like William Wallace. He's got to rally the Scotsman. Anyway, thank you for joining us, Pine Room episode 142. We're here in the Pine Room studios being listened worldwide, all the way to Lapland, up in Finland, by Yari and our boy Timo.
Shout out to those guys.
Shout out to them. Hopefully
Cool as
they're
shit.
surviving up there. Hopefully you're enjoying yourself. Another thing, here's what I want to do. I know once we start wrapping up, people probably click off, but if you're watching this, we're starting tomorrow. You're not going to see this, but we're starting to stream basketball games. We're going to try. It's like our alpha test. It might go to shit. So if it does go to shit, you'll know about it next week. But if it doesn't, you can go to watchdognetwork.com or follow the Facebook page on our shit or Twitter, whatever. We'll keep you updated. You can go watch that. It's going to be interesting. So
But
enjoy.
not only that, just look at the debut game we got. Lindsley at
Fucking
Central.
biggest
Whew.
game in a while.
Yeah, that's an awesome first game.
Hopefully
for
we
us to
don't
stream.
fuck it up.
No, fuck it.
Who
we do.
cares? If we do,
We're trying.
who gives a shit?
Right.
Yeah. All right.
Whatever.
Follow
Peace
us
out,
here in the Pine
everybody.
Room. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time in the
Bye,
Pine Room.
everybody. Love you.
Oh.